Hi everyone, this is Devleena, welcoming you all to another captivating episode of Icons Behind Brands. And today we unravel the extraordinary journey of Mr. Bidyut Nath, a seasoned expert in the realm of branding and communication. With over 18 years of experience, Mr. Vidyut has mastered the art of integrated marketing, communication, PR, ORM, content creation, digital marketing, and social media strategies. Having lent his expertise to renowned companies like Shyam Steel and Dollar Industries, his insights are nothing short of invaluable. So join us as we delve deep into Vidyut's insightful journey. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Vidyut.
Thank you so much. That's an introduction, quite elaborate one. Thank you so much for that.
Wonderful to have you here, Mr. Vidyut. Okay, so I would love to, connect the dots. I would love to know from where you have started your journey, a little about your background and about your journey would definitely set the context for today.
I hail from northeast of India. To
Mm-hmm.
be precise, I completed the education there and then moved to start my career from Delhi.
Okay.
So initially it was media, the other side of the table, and then later
Mm-hmm.
on the other side. I was writing about people and then people writing about me. So, of course, the
That's a
journey.
good two sides of coin.
Yes, yes, yes. Interesting to understand that what we look forward to from people, and then whether we are able to deliver that when we are on the other side. So that's a very interesting thing that I have come across, and to live up to that benchmark where you would like to see people is somewhat very different from the point of view of what you want to achieve, and how your achievement will help others to set their goal, also to that benchmark, or even cross you, so that the learning never stops, neither you
Mhm.
nor people who are following you. So that's an interesting thing that I have come across in my career. And of course, when I have started in 2005, there has been no like halt. Since then it has been telecom, of course, media, then telecom, then garments industry, then building materials now. So
Mhm.
industry wise also I have changed and understood overall the consumer mindset, not only in India but then across Southeast Asia. So that's something which I have gained over this period of time where I've been working. So all in all, to be precise, yes, not still far to go. 18 years is nothing, but I'm still a fresher. I'm still learning. That's it.
Awesome. So, you have worked in various industries, like you have the knowledge and experience of industries like media, telecom, garments, and building material, which is completely different. But the
Yeah.
rules of fundamental marketing is same. The fundamental rules of marketing are same. So, would love to know about your overall perspective, and then we will eventually understand the industry wise and all other things. Okay, so to understand the fundamental of marketing, let's understand, how do we ensure the consistency in messaging and branding across marketing channels and platforms. So that's very important for any brand, or whether it is a big brand or a startup brands.
Yes, that's a very thorough question. Many a times I've been asked what makes you a brand consistently messaging its communication to the target audience over the time, and how do you build brand by that. Uh, See, most importantly, what happens in this industry is now everybody understands what is advertising, or
Mhm.
it's been so much of exposure all over. People coming from diverse background, not just who has done done MBA in marketing or mass comm. people from commercial or science or who doesn't have anything to do with advertising or marketing, they also come up and join the race of doing marketing or marcom as a whole. What remains a miss is understanding the consumer, not just from the point of view of what we are providing, what message we are providing them, or how are they going to take it. It is rather than why would they even listen to my message. That's the most important question.
Very
And
important.
if we are able to understand that very fact, in India there are three kinds of consumer. What I've understood over the years is, first segment of consumer is very small, who would immediately trigger by a message.
Okay.
They would immediately go and rush out and buy something if there is something new. Okay, they have money, they have
Mm-hmm.
got money, they have got the will, and most importantly, they want to experiment with.
Mm-hmm.
There is a second lot of people who would follow them, you know that that person has bought it, or this product is can be used because somebody else is using, we can also try. This kind of consumer is the second. And the third, and which is the largest consumer base, is whether it is a need or it is a want. So if it is a need, then whether the need is already fulfilled by any other product which is there in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And unless and until the new product which is there, communicating with us, is offering something very very unique which has not been offered till now by any of the competition in the market, then only I will think about it, or else my demands are already met. Why would I even think of switching on the brand preference that I have? So this section of the large audience whom we generally speak to, or who actually helps a brand thrive over the years, they
Mm-hmm.
are very very tough segment to talk to.
Super. So, for brands, there are, see, brands are story, brands are perception in people's mind, right? So, how can a storytelling, which is a very important part of marketing, can be used to humanize a brand and create a relatable narrative for the consumers?
Very interesting take here. Stories are what we have grown up with, in
Mm-hmm.
during our childhood. Maybe our parents have told us a few stories which we have heard from them first, and understood the sequence of life, what goes up and then down and then gets corrected, or whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, we have built our personalities like that. We as we grow, we understand what challenges are there in each stage of life, or we uh, whether it is personal, professional, or whatever. And then you keep learning. If you look at brands, since time immemorial, we have the best of brands changing over the time, over the years. You have a good example of Cadbury, then Coke. You will see their history, how they have evolved over the years from time to time. So probably they have also, all of these brands which are legends now, they have told stories which they have connected with the people there of that age. If today is the generation Z or
Mm-hmm.
X or Z, I don't know what they are called. I
As
call
of
them
now,
mobile generation.
Z. Yeah, as of now, Z.
Yes.
It's Gen Z.
Yes, yes. So these people, I call them mobile generation, because when they were born, they have found mobile,
Mm-hmm.
connectivity, and then they have, somewhere or the other, have managed their world inside that, small palm size thing that we all have today. But then think of people who were born in the 90s, who are still seeing the incoming of mobile. So our world was different. We had grown up in a different context, where we are connected with people, not in mobile. Our social media was on the playground. Our social media was in a ceremony or something like that. But then today everything happens in mobile. So if you don't tell the story in the way the consumer is consuming correct right now, then
Mm-hmm.
they won't connect. So uh, definitely storytelling has always been there, but then how you are telling the story is also very important, in what way today visuals and graphics and today ais have changed the way stories are told. What we have been listening in our childhood is that's the power of imagination, and today you cannot expect youngsters to have those kind of imagination unless and until they see graphics and all those
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and then they will start imagining, okay, this is how this needs to be seen. The very recent controversy about Ramayana, Prabhas Ramayana, and all that
Yes.
stuff. So,
Yes.
see how we have seen the Ramanan Saga's Ramayana and the current Ramayana in all its graphical format. So, today's youngsters couldn't have understood the story of Ramayana if they have seen how Ramayana Dev, Sagar has created the epic,
Yes.
and now they are more into the current reality. This is
Mm-hmm.
how probably graphics
Right.
should have been. So age to age, time to time, the storytelling has changed. The core remains the same. Of course, it has to be, it is a zigzag life, as life is a zigzag road. So all the stories will have a up and down and correction and all that stuff. So that remains same, but then how you are telling the story, in what way, that's very very important. And that's how brands have built their personality. And uh, of course, brands who want to be legends tomorrow, they need to follow the same course.
Mm-hmm. So, what I take it from here, the presentation of the story should be according to your consumer, but the core of the
Yes.
stories are same. The foundation is the same.
Yes.
The content
Yes.
is same.
Today, if you, I'll just to add here, you today content across the world is available with us through Netflix and Amazons of the world. If you
Yes.
look at series of any part of the world, you will see the emotions are same, the how the story told in our part of the country is also the same there. There's nothing much of a difference. There's it's ups and downs, and how we see life, how it has changed, and how challenges are being faced. Everything is same. So the moral of the story is, while the emotions remain same, the presentations are getting different and different every time, and that's what also need to understand and follow. That's simple.
Awesome. Awesome. This is a, very clear understanding about the basic of storytelling. Core has to be same no matter what, because all are human beings. Emotions are same, even though the languages and regions are different. Even kids, they don't know the languages, but one kid to another kid, they communicate it very well with their
Yes.
own language. So here only the presentation that matters. Core, everything has to be very solid, very
Yes.
strong and fundamental. Right. Okay. So in recent years, a lot of emphasis has gone into the social responsibilities in marketing. Right. So how do you see the social issues they are impacting marketing strategies and consumer behavior here?
Uh, well, this is very, very crucial and very, very important from the point of understanding a brand's persona. Today, when we go down to the market, particularly after a pandemic, what we have seen is, people are very, very sensitive towards what is spoken about in the public,
Right.
whosoever it may be, whether it is a big politician or, so to say, just an influencer
Yeah.
talking about a certain topic in Twitter. So everybody is sensitive, and we need to understand this very fact that, without being sensitive, you cannot be a personality. If a personality who is being followed or maybe taken seriously.
Super. Okay. So, as a marketer, we often, we know that innovation is part of our journey, right? And as a leader, also, it's very important to understand the power of innovation, and at the same time, maintaining your stability, right? So, how do you balance the need for innovation and risk taking with the importance of maintaining stability and delivering results as a leader?
see, the language of leadership also is changing, okay, from time to time. If you look at how, maybe 20 years back or 30 years back, leaders used to be, because they used to have this same kind of, people reporting to them, who don't have anything much in their life rather than having a family, going back to family, coming back to office work. And that's how things used to be. People were more simple in terms of how they perceive life, or how they work, from whether they, whatever they're dealing in. But then if you look at today, the people that we are dealing in, they are, again, Gen Z, that you have spoken about. People have, people's perception of life has changed, and you cannot be a leader who would just, guide them and lead to a certain goal. It is no more those kind of leadership, working today. If a leadership, or a leader need to be, successful, he need to push people in front of him rather than, being in front. He has to be their back, because everybody, today, Gen Z particularly, they are independent, they want their voice to be heard. And most importantly, if you allow them to do that, then only innovation comes out. And if
Mhm.
you try to, get things your way, then I think, there'll be no innovation, there'll be no creativity. Particularly, I have felt it myself when I have made teams across all these organizations, and try to make them reach a goal. So what I have keenly observed is, you get people from diverse backgrounds, diverse education, and when you get them together on a single platform, you have to give them the opportunity to grow, how they, you know how each of them perceive life. Somebody might be, serious about just making money and, buying things, and somebody might be taking care of their families. Some are more independent, they want to move around, see the world. I'm talking about the personal lives of these, whom you
Leaders.
actually work with. And then there would be people, on job. Some would be in the category of very hardworking, and some would be just talking about it, and some would be, just criticizing about it. So how you lead them all? Earlier, at some point of time, it was not there, because everybody knew that they were responsible and they
Mhm.
need to be a part of a certain goal. But then today, you have to have all of these entities in your team, so that it will, of course, you cannot, today, job is a certain thing that, it's a scarcity again. And on this scarcity, you have more scarcity of people, who you can actually, take in. Because despite educated, education has become, of course, almost free,
Mhm.
with our, internet connectivity and all. And nobody in India is illiterate anymore. Everybody can read and everybody can understand a message and everything. So despite that, you have, people on board, the best on board that you can find in market. And then you want them to lead to a certain goal, which is good for the organization and good for all individuals. So, again, it's a continuous customization that I have understood. Individual wise, you have to understand, their potential, uh, ensure that, the creative room is there. Creativity today is not an exercise which is done on a group discussion. Creativity today is more of a personal space that you give to people, so that they can come up and, share with you. And that too, if you are a person whom they can, share things with. Because today, as we spoke in the very beginning, listening power has come down in people, like anything. Nobody wants to listen, everybody wants to talk. And if you make them listen, then probably half of your message is out of, it is just like Google is to them. So there, if you are a leader, and if you are, taking a hard, in not in your back, in front, then probably you have to give them voice rather than you give voice to them. So that's how it works. It is I've been I've once I very recently I've seen a herd of wolves, social media, it was circulating probably in LinkedIn, that
Mhm.
the top leader is not at the front, the top leader is at the back.
Yes.
That's how it is done today.
Right. Yeah, so that connects me to one of the social media posts. I think I have reshared yesterday. The insecure leaders, they actually go and they speak loud, and
Yeah.
the secure leaders are the one who creates more power in the room, and who creates more
Yes.
leaders from their team, and who empowers their team. And what you said is, connecting with this so well. At the same time, you spoke about, this is not the time, this is the time where you give space to your team members, and that's how you invoke the creativity, you encourage the creativity to comes, because the leadership style has changed over the period of time. And also, you are you a leader, with whom your team members feel comfortable to share their hearts, their things. So listening is a very powerful tool, and that is something we should never underestimate, the power of listening. Being a leader, it's extremely important to understand your team, and to be that good listener for your team. So very precisely, you have actually covered these qualities of today's leader. And I think it's totally true, which I'm relating. Yeah. Okay. So in this segment only, let's talk about on the leadership, the most significant lessons that you have learned as a leader throughout your career.
Okay. That's a very difficult because there's a lot of learning
Lot
over the
of
years.
learnings.
A lot of learning, yes. In fact, every day is a learning. But then I
Yes.
think the most important aspect of being a leader is uh, I would rather define that into five qualities. Okay, you have to be peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
patient.
Mm-hmm.
I relate correlate these both. You have to be very very peaceful. Second is you have to be pure. You know, you if you have doldrums within, you never can guide someone or be their say a source whom they regard as a power of solution. You have to be pure. So there is peace, there is purity, then you have to have a lot of wisdom. Third,
Mm-hmm.
wisdom is not just about the knowledge that you are putting in for a certain skill that you are working in. It is about everything. It is about relationships, it is about the world around you, it is probably about what's going on with global warming. At the same time, what's going to be in the future, what is happening around you. If you are a good leader, you have to have a lot of wisdom.
True.
Fourth is love. Of course, love is not just about two people, it is about how you connect with everyone. What you said in just a minute ago, being comfortable. So being
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, you want the moment we are being comfortable with our parents, probably we are comfortable with our spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends. That's the only area. Once you get comfortable, you are peaceful.
True.
Everything else start working.
True.
So that comfortable is what love is all about. The earth probably is the biggest example of love. Had it not been patient enough and being lovable enough to give back fruits till date,
Yes.
despite that we are doing so much of activities over it. So wouldn't have gone anywhere. पैरों से तले से जमी खिसक गई तो क्या होगा.
क्या होगा.
So that is love.
Wow.
You have to be backing people like anything, that they understand that they come back to you whenever they are in trouble. you have to be like that. And fifth but not the least is joy.
Wow.
That is spread happiness. You have to be someone who spread happiness. Ensure that a smile, is always there, sticking to your face whatever you are going through, being a leader. So that
Yes.
whosoever is approaching, whether it is work related or non work related, they go back with a positive feel about you. And that's how they would return back to you, or that's how they remember you today. uh, you know mm, Anger and anguish and being irritable and all those things doesn't work at all. You
Yes.
have to be probably, it is time we go back to churn those qualities in a human being which are now going out of despair. If you look at a human being, and you have to understand that all of these five qualities are there, and that's how you look at a leader is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel.
Wow,
So the five
that
qualities: peace,
that's
purity, wisdom, love, joy.
amazing. That's amazing. Uh, Very true, very core. But at the same time, we talk less in the professional forums, and which is extremely important. Uh, Not only in the life of leaders, but in the life of everyone. But if you are a leader, if there are people who are look up to you and following you, these are must have things anybody should cultivate in themselves, being peaceful and patient, being pure, being the source of the solution, power of the
Wisdom.
solution, wisdom, love. And the example was amazing. Earth is the biggest example of love and compassion. How compassionate you are with you yourself and with your
Yes.
team members, and at the same time, joy. Being joyful is the ultimate thing, and that's how you spread the vibrations around you, and that's how if it reflect to your team members, and you can see how they are enjoying in the team and within themselves, and that's totally your reflection how your team behaves, right? So I
Yes.
think it's amazing to listen, and I was thinking, why only 5 points? Why are I'm not why you're not talking about some 15, 20 points about this? So it was so nice to hear. Amazing shares, Mr. Vidyut. I have actually enjoyed thoroughly. It was precise and on point, and a lot of things to take it away for me as well, and I'm sure for the viewers also. So thank you so much
My
from
pleasure.
us and from the entire Icons Behind Brands team. And thank you for sharing your time on a Saturday morning and sharing your
Thank you so
insights
much.
to us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking.